I know you gonna dig this.
Get funky with me.
How's everybody doing today? Here I am in Dallas, Georgia. Dallas, Georgia. Not Texas, Dallas, Georgia. Tiny little town, about 30 minutes outside of Atlanta, 35, depending on where you are in Atlanta. And here to do a little video about Big Boss Man. Now, who's Big Boss Man, if you don't know? He was he was huge, a big guy. He was big, like a giant almost, a big hulking man. Raymond Traylor, Big Boss Man, wrestler from the late 80s all the way in the 90s. He started off as a bodyguard for Jim Cornette, I believe, but I know him from the WWF years. That's my era. That's when I was a kid. You know, Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Junkyard Dog, Coco Beware, Ricky Steamboat, you name it. WWF. I even like some of the, Ric Flair, Kurt Hennig, who was best friends, I believe, with Big Boss Man. They were very tight. And Big Boss Man was one of those one-man gang. Akeem, I believe Big Boss Man was tag team partners with Akeem, right? Yeah, he was. And so I'm here to do a video about Big Boss Man, who died at the very young age of 41, right here in this tiny little town. I've driven through it, and it's not a big town. It's a beautiful little town. And he lived here, and his sister was visiting his family and died of a heart attack at the age of 41. Now, if you look behind me, that's the end of the cemetery, and then up that hill is another little section, but this is it. Not much. I mean, when I say not much, I mean not huge. Not much sounds harsh. I mean, it's a small cemetery, is what I mean. And I believe he's buried over in this section. So I'm going to tell you more about him and his life. Take a look at his grave. Always wanted to come out here. It's a little off the beaten path. He's from Marietta, Georgia, where I stayed last time I was here. I was in Georgia. I stayed in Marietta. And so it's weird. I stayed up there, and now I'm down here where he's buried. I can see why he chose this particular town. It's beautiful, and it's just away from the hustle and bustle and crazy traffic of Atlanta, and a quiet little existence he could have with his family. I believe he had 2 daughters. But let's talk more about Big Boss Man. Let's find his grave. But he should be right around here. That could be him right there, actually. That could be Big Boss Man. I'm just by what I see. Maybe. And no, it is not. But I just by the amount of lettering on it. So it should say Raymond Traylor. And it might even say Big Boss Man, I think. I can't remember by the pictures. But he's kind of off the beat. Here he is right here. Oh, wow. Ray W. Jr. May 26th. Oh, there's a Big Boss Man figurine. Ray W. Jr. May 2nd, 1963 to September 22nd, 2004. Big Boss Man. In our hearts forever. Traylor. And in the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your ears. A quote by Abraham Lincoln. Let's go a little closer. Take a look at this. Even the sunglasses. The Big Boss Man sunglasses. That is wild. and somebody's left a Big Boss Man figurine. If I haven't inserted a picture already of what he looked like as the character of Big Boss Man that he played, there you go. But I'm sure I've already put one in. That's crazy. Nicely tucked. Oh, nicely tucked there. Good. And I've got a rock to leave right there. Right there. So, a little pinwheel blowing off in the distance. Sun is going down. Spent the whole day filming out in this, on the west of Atlanta, and just made it in time. But I would have come back if I couldn't, because this is the grave I've always wanted to visit. And you see people live right here, right there. A lot of people ask me, would you live next to a cemetery, Scott? Or could you live near one? I could live right there. I could live right there. There, very easily. Cemeteries are quiet, calm, peaceful, reflective places. They're not scary. They're not scary at all. I filmed with some other people who hadn't even ever been in a cemetery before, which I found odd. But even with loved ones, are afraid to go into cemeteries and afraid to visit, and that's up to the individual. But I always encourage people. I'm like, if you have a loved one in a cemetery, go visit them. You got to get past that fear. And if you want to visit someone like Big Boss Man, pay your respects. It's a nice thing to do. Let's talk a little bit more about his length. He played the part of a cop, like a corrections officer, and he actually was a corrections officer. And then he went into wrestling. My God, he was such a big guy. I can just imagine how intimidating he was as a corrections officer. You are not disobeying him.
Raymond Ray Traylor Jr. He was born May 2nd, 1963. Best known for his appearances with the WWF, I would say, where he wrestled under the name Big Boss Man. He also had appearances with World Championship Wrestling in a different organization where he was known as The Boss, The Man, The Guardian Angel, and Big Bubba Rogers. During his appearances with the WWF, Big Boss Man held the WWF World Tag Team Championship once and the WWF Hardcore Championship 4 times. Ray Traylor died of a heart attack on September 22nd, 2004 at his home here in Dallas, Georgia. According to the Wrestling Observer, Traylor and his family were visiting with his sister at his home, and while his 2 daughters went upstairs to play, his wife Angela briefly left the room at about 10 p.m. and returned to find him deceased on the sofa. As I stated before, he was only 41 years old. Raymond Traylor was posthumously inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2016, with his wife and daughters accepting the award on his behalf.
As you can see, as I've stated on a few videos before, Lee Thompson, Young, a few other ones were small towns. Almost every grave has flowers. Take a look. Almost every grave. This is a newer section, I guess. Not a lot on this side as there are over there and up the hill. But yeah, flowers everywhere. It's just so nice to see. Alright, just walking back up from Big Boston. Like I said, well, I don't know if I said, you can come right in that entrance, right there, off the road. And Just a few rows down to your left. Look for that blue building, garage, whatever that exactly is. Right there. And there you'll find Big Boss Man right there. Some young people here. Young. It's always sad to see. 50 years old. Young. Oh. So, Officer Traylor. That's what he was. He really was. Big Boss Man. If you're a WWF fan, he's in the WWE Hall of Fame. I could never call it WWE though. It's always WWF to me. It will be for the rest of my life. For the WWF. But he's in the Hall of Fame. He was a great entertainer. Greatly missed by fans, friends, and I'm sure deeply, deeply missed by his family. And more people, I hope, come out here to visit Big Boss Man. Provided so much entertainment. So much. I'm thinking about all his matches and stuff in my head. And my God, he came onto the WWF scene. He was a game changer because of his size and cool character. Thanks for watching. I love you all. Rest in peace, Big Boss Man, Officer Traylor, Raymond Traylor. All right, peace.